been going crazy. No, you can't blame me, you either hustle or lazy. I've been going all summer, running at the number. You ain't gotta wonder how we doing. It's the movement, it's the real estate newsroom with Charles Noonan.
First of all, we really appreciate you guys for being here. And with that being said, welcome to a live podcast recording of the Real Estate Newsroom. Clap it up, clap it up. This is a special episode co-hosted by me and the main host, Charles J. Noonan. Shout out to Charles. All right, and listen, today we have an amazing guest. This guest has done some phenomenal things. Would y'all believe me if I told you he sold a business before the age of 27? Wow. So now he's doing a whole brand new business. And not only does he have his sights on making multi-millions, he's helping other people do the same thing. So we're going to learn all about what he has in store for this new venture that he's got going on. Everyone, give a round of applause. And you know what I need you to do for our guest, Moe Falah.
Welcome to the show.
Yo, how was that intro, bro?
That was a fire intro.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can keep that energy up.
Well, before we start, man, welcome to another episode of the Real Estate Newsroom. And just so you know, before we start, we get some agreement from the guests that they're going to share and pour into us without any gatekeeping.
Absolutely.
So let's go.
We don't gatekeep anything.
Nothing?
Nothing.
Right off the bat, we all want to know, how the hell did you sell a company at 27 years old? And what's the other question we want to know? How much did you sell it for?
Fast.
So like age doesn't really matter when it comes to you know how old you are when you sell something, like especially a business. Ultimately, it's like, can you create value? And you know, you have the ability to make money, and then you have the ability to make value. And if you can create value in a business, then you know people are going to buy it. You know, I have a good friend of mine. His name is Dan Fleischman. You know Dan. You know Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he took a company public at 19 years old. You know, you guys know Wall Street right down there. Took a company public at 19 years old. So age doesn't matter. If you have the ability to create value, then you can you know sell a company. The number is $12.5 million.
Let's go.
He said 12.5 million. That's all the noise y'all gonna make?
Now listen, remember I told you in the notebook some of y'all need to 10x that number, right? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You probably put down 100,000 or something. 10x that.
So, Mo, how'd you feel selling that? Was it normal because of the group that you were in? Or was it like this once in a lifetime, life-changing thing?
No, like I thought it would be life-changing, but it really wasn't. What was more life-changing was the first time I made 10K in a month. That was the biggest life-changing thing, because it's like, you know, when you're a little kid and you're this big and the chair is this big and the desk is this big, you're surrounded by this environment and this suppressive environment called the public education system. And they teach you that, like, you know, you go to school, you gotta get a degree, you gotta do this, and maybe you'll make, you know, 60K, 70K. If you're super lucky, you'll hit 6 figures. And, you know, I used to think that, you know, you make $100,000, like you're super wealthy, super abundant, and like, you can't even get by on 6 figures today. So, I'm very different if you experience that. Like, you make 100,000, you don't even think you can get by. It's such a challenge. And the first time that I made 10K in a month, I was like, okay, like, I just broke a belief system in what I thought it was. And you have 3 different things that hold you back in your growth. It's your belief systems, it's your character traits, and it's your skill sets. And when you break a belief system of like what it is to be able to make that type of income, it's like, okay, cool, like, can I see if I can do it again? And then I did it again. And I'm like, okay, cool, like, now I can just go ahead and increase my skills. And then I made 15K, and I was like, holy crap, all I had to do was do a little bit more, but I became a little bit better. Can I do it again and do it quicker? And then I got up to 20K. And so it's like, you know, when I sold the company, it was cool, but I was also very, very intentional about what I was doing. My intent when I was building the company was to take it to a position so I could sell it. I wanted to sell the company. I wanted to have that as an accolade for myself. And one thing I'll share with all of you guys is if you're tremendously intentional about the things that you want to accomplish, and intentional is not like, oh yeah, I want to go make 6 figures. It's like, I'm making 6 figures or 7 figures, and there's no other option. And anything that gets in the way of that, anything that's a distraction to that, anything that prevents me from actually accomplishing that, the answer is no. That's true intention. It's not you saying yes to things, it's you being able to say no to the things that prevent you from getting to where you want to go. That's the real power that you need to have. Like I say this all the time. You know, if you show me your bank account, I can tell your ability to say no to people. And if you have low dollars in your bank account, it's because you say yes to everybody and every single distraction.
That's hard.
I got a question real quick. So you just talked about breaking a belief system or breaking belief systems, right? So what were some of those belief systems that you broke when you started to make the 10K and then the 15 and the 20? What were some of the belief systems that you broke?
Yeah, like you can do it by yourself. That's a big one. And like I'm a guy, like I'm aware, right? Like I got some ego, and I always had ego growing up. But I let the ego get in my way, where I was like, I don't need anyone else. I can do it by myself. Like I can figure it out. Other people can figure it out. I can figure it out. But what I didn't realize is that all those people went and got help. All those people went and found support. All those people went and found community. Because here's the thing, no matter what it is that you do in your life, it's gonna be hard. Like, the reason why not everyone here is a millionaire, and not just here, but the reason why most people in society aren't millionaires, is because it's really, really, really freaking challenging. It's hard. Like, when you're on this mission to go and create wealth for yourself, or success for yourself, you're gonna get beat up. Like, the universe is gonna test you in ways that you can't even imagine, just to see how many times you're gonna stand back up. Because it's only gonna give that type of abundance to people who actually deserve it. So it's gonna test you and push you and try and knock you down and try and kick your ass. And the reality is like, it only gives it to people who, no matter what, they don't stop fighting. But the thing is, it's really hard to do it alone. So when you can get into a community and when you get around people who are all pushing and fighting towards the same mission, and like, you fall down, I'm like, no, Brent, I got you, come on, we gotta keep going, we got shit to do.
I'm gonna be expecting that text in the morning, bro.
But like, you know, you want to be around people who are just like, we're gonna do this together. Raise your hand if you ever played sports growing up. Yeah. How good did it feel to be part of a team? When you mess up, other people are there to help you out, hold you accountable. Like, no, you got this, keep going, keep pushing. That all that was is like, we played a game in sports, we played a game and we had a team that was with us. Just take it and translate that and be like, all right, let's go play the game of money, and let me go get a team with me, and then let's go out and win together. That like, stop trying to play the solo game. Go out with a group. That's the best way to do it.
I love it, man. All right. Most rounds so far. Give it up for
I think that was the key word. I think you should all write down in the notebooks, if you haven't already, write down team and community. Because you're not going to do it by yourself.
No. I mean, you can try to do it by yourself, but like, why? Like look at the most, like, if you just take a look at, you know, the most successful people on the planet, and you know, the wealthiest people on the planet, all of them have hundreds of thousands of employees, or millions of employees, right? All that is a team. It's one person, and they went and built a big team. Would you rather be a business owner of one, or would you rather be a business owner of 20 people? Yeah, of course. All you're doing is you're starting with yourself, and then you're starting to build a team. And you start adding people on your team. And you're like, hey, this is the mission, this is what we're doing. Let me show you how to get there, and then you start moving together. Other belief system is that $1 million is a lot of money. That was like a belief system that I had to break. And you know, I think the thing is that like when you shoot a target for like $1 million, because that's everyone's like first target, right? Or maybe it's 100K, and maybe it's $1 million, whatever it is. you don't really estimate how much effort it actually takes to do it, and oftentimes you just like underestimate what's really required to be able to become successful. And I think that's the number one reason why people fail, is like they just underestimate the amount of effort that's really required to be successful. So I would say that, like, you have to think in unrealistic measures. Like, I didn't sell my company for $12.5 million at 27 years old because I was thinking realistically. Like, would you guys all think that that's like an unrealistic result? You guys would agree with that, right? So it's like, I wasn't thinking realistically. Like, your thoughts ultimately determine the words that you say. And you guys know manifestation, right? The words you say turn into reality. So the thoughts that you have turn into the words that you say. The words that you say turn into the actions that you do. And the actions that you do are ultimately your habits. And you do those consistently, and those habits ultimately determine the results that you get. So it all starts with the thought. So you have to think crazy.
So Mo, can I interrupt you real quick? So basically you're saying, if they want to become millionaires or whatever they want to become, they can start doing those behaviors right now.
So before they do the behaviors, they first have to adopt the identity.
So they can adopt, so break that down. How do they adopt that identity?
Yeah, so a lot of people think it's like do, be, have. Like, first I do this, and then once I do this, once I do the work, then I'm going to become a millionaire. And then once I'm a millionaire, I'm going to have the cars, the crib, all that. So it's do, be, have. But it's actually the wrong formula. It doesn't work like that. The real formula and the correct formula is be, do, have. And be is identity. So start to be and act as if you already are that which you want to accomplish before you actually do. I wanted to, I have my beautiful girlfriend back there. Give a round of applause for her. So before I was a player, right? I live in Miami, I was a player. And like I wanted to actually get into a relationship that lasted. I want to have kids, I want to get into a marriage. And so I was like, okay, like I gotta start acting and take on the identity of a married person. So I stopped the promiscuity, I stopped the messing around with chicks, I stopped all that stuff, and I just started acting like what a husband would act like. And I started taking on that identity of like, that's the person who I'm gonna become, that's the person who I'm gonna be. And I started acting like that first, and then when I started thinking that I am that person already, my actions started to change. Because what you think is what you say is what you do becomes your legacy. So be, first adopt the identity, then you start doing the things, and then ultimately you'll have the things that you're looking for.
Notebook. Notebook.
All right, so I got a question, Mo. Thanks for sharing that. I actually got two parts, but I'm going to start with the first. Guys, just make some noise if y'all want to make some money like it sounds like Mo's making. So here's my question. What's the simplest way that people can understand making money with Medicare sales? Because that's what you do, right?
That's what I do now, yeah. I do a lot of things, but that's my main thing.
That's the main thing. Let's start there.
Let me backtrack real quick, and we're going to jump right back into it.
Go for it.
Next broken belief is that you gotta have 7 streams of income. It is the biggest trap to prevent you from becoming successful. You guys heard that the average millionaire has 7 streams of income? Raise your hand if you've heard that before. Yeah? Okay. What they don't tell you is that the average millionaire, like 90+% of them, all made their first million or millions in one stream. And then when they made it, they then diversified and got into many streams. I've got like 30+. I own a bunch of real estate too. That's why I love Real Estate Newsroom. Love that audience. If you're in real estate or love real estate, like, raise your hand.
Make some noise.
So it's true, but what you like, just don't get caught up in trying to like get a hustle here and a hustle here and a hustle here and a hustle here, and every faucet just drips. You don't want faucets that drip. You want a fire hose that pushes out, and that's when you focus all your attention on one thing. Get your money right in one thing, and then diversify. I was the man who had like a bunch of different hustles, so that was another belief that I had. That's a very, very important one.
I say that all the time. One thing. Everybody knows I do one thing. That's real estate.
So clarify that real quick, right? Because you can be in one thing, but you can have different verticals in that one thing.
Definitely.
So we talking about one thing, or one space, and that space can create different verticals.
Maximize in your one thing, and then add verticals to that thing.
There you go.
Yeah.
So like, teach real estate, build real estate, buy real estate, and have a real estate podcast. Y'all got it? So that's my secret. That's how I did it.
Yeah.
And send Brendan real estate deeds.
Oh, there's one more thing. There's one more thing that I just want to just teach you guys. Don't be afraid to give up good for great. I had other million-dollar businesses, and I really had to close them and shut them down. Rosa worked for my insurance agency. I had a car rental business, all million-dollar businesses. Caden was mad that I had to shut that down because we had to give some of the cars back, right? But I did have different businesses that netted over 7 figures. And then when I stopped everything, the real estate business just shot like crazy. It just went off like crazy. So please, don't be afraid. So if it's your job, if it's something that you're thinking is good, and you're contemplating, oh, I have something good, but you really want something great, or you have an opportunity to take advantage of something that's great, like something that's going to really get you the money that you want to do, it's okay to give it up, right? If you see the vision, give up something good for something great, it's okay.
So your Medicare question.
Yeah. So I got a Medicare question, and then I want to get into a little bit of like your upbringing, because I want people to know that they can do it too. So I want to kind of talk to these struggles you may have had, but the direct real estate question, because I want them to make some money too, right? What's the simplest way that people can understand making money with Medicare sales?
Yeah, you know, like Medicare is another product that one can sell. There's a lot of different products out there, you know, car sales, life insurance, real estate, solar, like a bunch of different products. You know, Medicare, the cool thing about Medicare is that Medicare is free. So it's 100% funded by the government. There's no cost to the consumer. So you're not really like doing a sale per se. All you're doing is ultimately serving people and helping them pick a better plan. There are currently 70 million Americans that are on Medicare. And in order to qualify for Medicare, you have to be 65 years old. And right now, the boomer generation is currently, you know, getting older, and every single day, 15,000 people are turning 65. So that means there's 15,000 new customers every single day coming to market, and it's only going to keep going up. And then we have the 70 million Americans that are already on Medicare. All we do is take inbound calls from them. Basically, like, we have a system and a software that people call you, so you don't have to go in like. Yeah, any of you ever been part of those like MLMs where it's like you show up to a room, they're like, all right, give me a list of your 5 family members, and raise your hand if you ever experienced anything like that. Write down a list of your power 25, your 25 list. It's not like that. It's like we have technology and software where people call you and they're asking like, hey, like, can I get more benefits? And then you simply plug their information into a software and it tells you what else they are eligible for. I mean, we have success stories from customers where, like, you know, a lady needed a prosthetic leg surgery. It was going to cost her $90,000. She had a 20% copay, so it was like $18,000 she would have had to come up with. She's like a 72-year-old lady. And she called in, and we got her on a plan. And it went effective the very next month. And it was a $0 copay. And she pushed the surgery back, and then she ended up, like, literally just by waiting a month and by calling us, she saved $18,000. Just like that.
Wow. That's fantastic. Awesome. That's fantastic. I talk to my community a lot about profit, but one thing that we put before profit is purpose. Yeah. And I'm happy to hear that you're able to make tons of money and not put purpose to the side. So profit plus purpose is like the perfect combination for what we can all do.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, so it's like we help people every single day, and it doesn't cost them anything. That's the coolest part about it, right? Like, I've sold a lot of products, and I've sold products from like $10 products up to, you know, my biggest sale was a $200,000 product. So I've done everything from like zero up to, you know, hundreds of thousands of dollars. But this is just free. It doesn't cost them anything at all, and you get paid. The thing that I love the most about this whole entire thing is you get paid residual income on every single sale. Mm-hmm. Like, you get paid, like, let me ask you this. Like a good asset, if you invest $1 million into it, like $1 million of cash, it's a good asset, like Class A or Class B, unit. Maybe it's an apartment complex, maybe it's a syndicate you invest into. You put $1 million in. What's a typical return? What are you typically going to net?
I typically buy land and build houses. I don't do A class because there's no need for affordable housing or low-income housing. So I typically develop in, let's just say, D and C class neighborhoods.
Yeah, but for sure, I understand that. But like in the typical real estate market, like if somebody invests $1 million, what can they expect?
Maybe $4,000 a month profit.
That's right. So $4,000 a month is an average of about 6%. That's like 6% a year. So you invest $1 million, that means you have to go and collect $1 million of cash. Actually, you got to collect more. You got to collect $2 million of cash because you got to pay taxes on that, and you only end up being left with $1 million. You invest $1 million and you get $60,000 of cash flow. That's passive income, right? $5,000 a month. In the Medicare business, you can sell less than 200 customers and have $60,000 a year of passive cash flow. We've got agents in my company that are doing 100 a month.
Wow. 100K?
100 sales.
100 sales.
So check this out. Like, I'm trying to open up your minds. So if you give me like a little bit, and I have a whiteboard a little bit later. I'm gonna show you. But if you just open up your minds to this idea, you got to make $2 million so that you can have $60,000 of free cash flow in real estate. People want free cash flow. Like just some members in the audience, if you can help me out here. If you had $5,000 a month every single month coming in, you woke up on the first of the month, 5K, without you having to call anyone, show up to work, any of that. Some people in the audience, what would that do for your life?
Change it tremendously.
Like, somebody raise your hand. Yeah, what would that do for your life?
More vacation.
More vacations. Awesome.
Enhance it.
Enhance it, yeah.
It will put me in position to invest more.
Put position to invest more. Anyone else? Okay.
Perhaps give you financial freedom.
Perhaps give you financial freedom. And all financial freedom is that your passive income is greater than your expenses without you having to show up to work. That's all financial freedom is. So instead of like you have this idea, you go make $2 million so you can invest $1 million so you can get $60,000 of cash flow. Like I have real estate and I absolutely love it. It's the safest thing. But then I found that in Medicare, literally in a few months worth of work, you can get $60,000 a year worth of passive cash flow in literally just a few months worth of work.
One more second. Can we please put the phones on silent? Did everyone just double check their phones real quick? Thank you so much.
So would you guys think it's easier to go out and make $2 million or to work a couple months giving people free services and helping them?
I think working a couple months.
I think so too.
Work a couple of months. All right, bro, we're at the point in time in the show where we take a question from the audience.
Hold on. I know they probably want to know, how easy is it for them to get into Medicare sales? Right? Come on, bro.
Look, it's really confusing. It's really confusing, but like we laid out a roadmap that makes it really easy. In terms of timeline, it depends on like how intentional you are. The fastest I would say is like 30 days and you can get started.
What's the investment? Is it investment?
Well, you got to pay for like licenses and all of that stuff. So to get like fully up and running, it's going to take you probably around like $500 to get fully up and running.
$500 in 30 days. Who got 530 days? All right. Okay. Cool.
That's a lot of y'all.
All right. Wait. Hold up. Who likes tests though? Tests. Because you gotta pass the test. So we don't want the test to be the barrier that prevents you from impacting people and changing your family. Because sometimes that starts with people too.
Yeah, but then you just don't really want it.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, audience question. Let's do one.
Wait, VIP first though.
VIP.
I've just never in my life thought that I'd have a job. Like just the idea of having a job, just like, I never I remember as a kid and I was asked like, what do you want to be when you grow up? And my answer was rich. Maybe I was just kind of born with it. Like I never thought like, oh, I'm gonna go be this or be this or be this, be this. It was like, I'm gonna just go and get this money.
No.
That was kind of it. Yeah.
Do y'all hear me say often that I don't like the job either?
Yeah.
Like, it's uncomfortable, right?
We're unemployable.
Knowing somebody else is making more money from your work, and you're doing all the work, but they're making all the money, like, that just doesn't sit well with you.
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me that somebody makes money off of my efforts. If somebody makes money off of my efforts, that's totally fine. Like, everybody should make money off of the work that you do. Like, because the idea that somebody shouldn't make money off of you is an idea of scarcity, and that money is scarce. But when it's like, let's all make money together,
I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I'm just not making the little part. I don't like the little part. We can make it together. We can make 50-50. That's a partnership. But the moment I get like 10 and you're making 90, I don't sleep well at night. I don't sleep. My sister's right over there. She can vouch. I've never really been a worker. Like, it just doesn't work. I just don't like it. I like making a lot of money. So it is what it is.
Who else has a question?
it's residually forever unless the customer cancels. So you know, they cancel if you do a poor job on the phone, but we've got like scripts that help all of that. And sometimes people die, right? You're dealing with the elderly, and so somebody dies and you stop getting Social Security checks.
You got another question? You have one, right?
It was a solar company. So we did residential door-to-door sales, and I built 6 offices across 3 states.
There's a parallel between what he's doing now and what he used to do? Y'all know, does anyone know what that is? Sales seems like where the money's at. Right?
So one of my first mentors, he told me, super successful guy, like really young, he said to me, the only way to get rich in this world is through sales. And then I started selling for him for like a couple of years. And then he told me, the only way to build wealth in this world is by building teams. And then like, that's when I was like, okay, now we gotta do this team thing. And then 4 years later, I sold the company.
You got a question, right? That's good, that's good.
Get around people who are doing it. Get away from the people who aren't doing it, and get away from the people who say it's not possible. Get away from the negativity, get away from the naysayers, get away from the people who say that you need to get realistic, get away from the people who say that you need to stop working so hard, get away from anybody who you wouldn't want to trade places with. Like, don't take it.
That's a bar. No book. Please, no book. It's true though, because I tell Brendan this all the time, right? I tell him, don't bring certain people around me because I don't want mediocre people around me.
That's a fact.
I'll be like, some people in our circle call me bougie, or they be like, whatever. I'd be like, I'm not going to that person's stuff. Don't bring them around me. I can't be around them. That's right. Mediocre people can't stand successful people. And successful people can't stand mediocre people. Get the hell away from them as fast as you can. I promise you. Because so here's what happens. Brendan calls me in the morning. I automatically know he's talking about something next level. Nice. He's talking about an idea that I texted him before I went to bed, and he's going to put diesel fuel on it. I already know he's never going to tell me, oh, that's not going to work. He's going to figure out how we make it work. Or he's going to give the answer before I even wake up. He's like, I don't, just do it this way. And I'm like, ooh, that was killer. So please, and then I call him, I make sure like he's a part of my day when I have these visions, because I know he's somebody that's going to say, all right, that's a great idea, just do this. Just add this to it and make it happen. So please, very important. There's not a millionaire that I've met, that I work with, that's in my circle that is around a bunch of broke people or around a bunch of negative people. So if you guys take anything away, and he gave a ton of games, Herman says this a lot, just audit your circle. Just audit your circle. Make sure your circle is around people, like he said, that you would exchange places with.
Absolutely. So I got one more question for you, and then we're gonna you got one?
investment?
I mean, that was my. You still have that question right now?
Like in terms of like making money. Well, I mean, I run a company and I've got like 200 people, so I put a lot of time.
So let me add something to that.
It's all based on how much money you want to make. That's it. Like more you put in, more you make.
Can you be successful doing Medicare sales on the side? So let's say they got a 9 to 5, and maybe they're doing something else in entrepreneurship. Can they be successful starting out on the side?
Yeah. Like the worst thing that you should do is like drop your income to go and try this. Like rule number 1 is like always make sure income is coming in, and then like supplement it with additional income until that additional income is greater than your regular income. And then once you've established the skill sets and can clearly show yourself, oh, I can make more money doing this, then transition full time. Yeah, you don't. I wouldn't say like go 100% full time into this and like just stop making your money. Like you need cash flow. Cash flow is very, very important. I was trying to find my next opportunity after I sold my company. You know, retiring at 27 isn't super fun. You get bored. Like when you're you can see my energy, right? Like I got drive. You can't just like sit around on the beach all day. I was searching. I was very intentional about what it was that I was going to get into next. I listed out a list of 19 different items of like what this next opportunity needed to have and what it had to absolutely not have. And then it was like a 16-month search to figure out what is the next thing, and I flipped over every single rock, and then heard a guy explain to me Medicare, which, you know, remember earlier he asked me like how easy it is to get into Medicare? I was like, it's really confusing. You guys remember that? The first person who introduced me to Medicare, I was like lost. I was like, I have no idea what the hell you just said to me, and then I stopped looking at it. And then 3 months later, I run into another guy who said he did Medicare, and I've never heard of Medicare in my life before. Like, I've never heard about what the hell this thing is. And I'm like, okay, like in 29 years, I've never heard of Medicare. And in a 3-month span, I see 2 people tell me they're in Medicare. I'm like, all right, I gotta like take a deeper look into this. The second guy explained it to me a lot better than the first guy. And then on a 13-month investigation, I ended up, after finding Medicare, 13 months until I launched the company.
Nice.
Give it up for him, guys. Give it up.
You want to let those go?
Okay, how we doing on time? All right, cool. We got 10 minutes left, guys. Make the questions good. Any you got a VIP question, and then we'll take yours.
Yeah, so all Medicare is government privatized and subsidized health insurance. That's all it is. So raise your hand if you ever had a W-2 job. Okay. So every
I'm not even claiming it. There was summer youth employment. I was like 14, and I wasn't a good counselor either. I was like a camp counselor. It just didn't work.
So every single paycheck that you get, you know, they have deductions on it. One of those line items will say Medicare. And so from the time that you're 18 years old to the time that you're 65 years old, every single time you get a paycheck, they pull a little bit of money out and they put it into this little bucket called Medicare. Medicare is your health insurance. And by the time that you turn 65, you actually have access to that piggy bank that you've been depositing into your whole entire life. So as long as you work 10 years in America and pay taxes for 10 years, you're eligible for free health insurance. So Medicare isn't like medical transportation or selling medical devices or anything like that. All Medicare is government-funded health insurance.
Oh, you about to break that? We're about to break that down. We're about to break that down a little bit.
So after the show, we have he's going to do a quick mastermind. Let's do one more question, Nicole.
Yeah, it needed to have residual income. That's the first thing. It needed to have residual income. It couldn't be this. Not having residual income keeps you on the hamster wheel of life. You will stay in the rat race for the rest of your life unless you can find a way to get yourself some passive income. You will, no matter what. You will always have to hunt for your next money, if you don't have cash flow coming in. You have to have money coming in while you sleep. Otherwise, you will work until you die. Probably gets longer. Probably longer nowadays.
Yeah, because you're gonna owe people.
Yeah,
You're still gonna owe. You're gonna be paying interest.
That's right. That's right.
I always say this, Mo. I say cash is cash. Cash flow is wealth.
For sure. Cash flow is weight. Like when I sold my company and I got that big check in, I was like really nervous because like cash stopped coming in, and I was like shit. Like I felt more security with cash flow than cash.
Absolutely. Guys, please put that in your notebooks. Cash flow. Whatever you do, you want it to create cash flow. Cash flow, every dollar that you make or amount of money that you make in cash flow will be one less day you'll have to work at the end of it. We've got 2 more questions, B. What you got?
Right here. Right here.
Yeah,
No, we're going in the middle.
He's had his hand up for quite some time.
Yeah, it's.
Yeah, we're gonna show you how you get involved.
Listen, this is the live real estate newsroom, yo.
He has agreed to teach.
So before we transition to Mo going crazy on the whiteboard real quick, I think that it's very important, like for people to understand, and I want them to hear from you. What are some of the routines, disciplines that you do when you wake up in the morning and before you go to bed? Because you're a successful entrepreneur, and it starts when you start your day. So what are some of the habits that you use that have been they've been good to you?
Yeah, prayer every morning and every night. Like my girl and I, every morning when we start the day, we always pray together. Before we go to sleep, we pray together. Sleeping early. Like, sleeping early is so freaking huge. Making sure that you get like 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. Like, don't discount that. That was like, don't discount your sleep. First thing in the morning, drink like a liter of water before you have your coffee. Like, just get hydrated. Your body's tremendously dehydrated. Anytime that you feel like lack of energy through your day, fogginess in your head, can't think clearly, most likely you're just dehydrated. So like, just get yourself hydrated and get yourself hydrated with some sodium, like salt. Like you can just buy sodium tablets or Element or Relight, R-E-L-Y-T-E. It's like an electrolyte drink. You just drink it first thing in the morning. So hydration. I work out every
No book.
these are the simple things that no one talks about, right? Like getting good sleep.
Those things that he mentioned clear your head. It clears your mind and allows you to focus on the things that you have to focus on. That's what's most important, right? Getting away from distractions, clearing your head, and then once you see what you have to do for the day, it's easier to do it when you have a clear head.
Yeah, and then I go to the gym pretty much first thing in the morning. You want to do something hard like right away, so that everything else in the day becomes easier. So like your health is so freaking important, and it's something I neglected early on. And I would have probably made a whole lot more money in my life if I started working out earlier.
That is so true. Working out clears your mind.
Yeah, 100%.
How many times have you came up with an answer to a problem that you had while working out?
All the time.
All the time.
The gym is therapy. The gym is literally like it's therapeutic for you. Yeah, absolutely right. You'll come up with the answers that you're seeking in the gym.
Would you agree?
Bro, I run a mile a day.
I run 2.
Okay. I do 300 push-ups a day, though.
You got me, bro. All right, yeah, so I think the mental aspect, getting rid of distractions, all the stuff that doesn't serve you and your goals, get rid of that stuff as soon as you can, as fast as you can. It will allow you to be intentional.
For sure. Get off the booze, get off the weed, get off the drugs, get off the parties, get off, remember I said it earlier, intentional. If there's one word that you can take out of this whole entire thing, when you leave here, whatever it is that you want to do, you have to be intentional about. And intentional means I'm intentional about doing this without anything getting in my way. And so alcohol doesn't help you no matter how much you think it helps you. weed doesn't help you no matter how much you think it helps you go to sleep, or it helps take away the stress or anything like that. It just numbs it. It just numbs whatever it is that you're experiencing, and you're not just confronting that you gotta like go through some bullshit for a little bit to get through it. The biggest thing that changed my life was like getting off weed, getting off the booze, and when I started focusing on chasing my dreams more than chasing girls.
Did you have to cut any friends off along the way?
Yeah, like from before 23. Like I'm not friends with anyone who I was friends with before 23. Like 23 and after, I'm 30 years old now. 23 and beyond, it's a whole new set of friends. And then from 25, like I lost most of the friends that were friends with me from 23 to 25. And 25 to 27, like lost the friends that were with me from 25. And here's the thing: it's like sometimes people are assets in your life, but then they become liabilities. And if you allow them to stay inside of your life, you're just deciding to surround yourself with liabilities. And when you have, when you have a balance sheet, your net worth is your assets minus your liabilities. So like, why am I going to allow my people around me to be liabilities? Because all that's going to do is reduce my own net worth. And my life becomes a whole lot better when I start surrounding myself with assets. And if somebody starts showing themselves to me that they're not an asset and they are a liability, then I care more about my goals and my dreams than fulfilling their need to be friends with them.
Bar.
So like, I'm selling.
Notebook.
Like you guys gotta be selfish with your time. You gotta be selfish with your energy. Like you can't be giving it to everyone who wants to take. Everyone will take till you bleed. Like you gotta be selfish about the things that you need, because you can't help anybody if you can't help yourself.
Right.
I love that. And team, I just want to share with you guys, sometimes it's the people that are really close to us that are saying the wrong things, right? Sometimes it's your friends that will tell you you can't build a company and sell it for 12 million.
Your parents.
Right? That's next. Sometimes it's your parents, but I want to say, right, it's not their fault. When we got money as kids, what's the first thing they told us to do with it? Save it. Don't spend all of it at the same place, right? Don't spend all of it at one time. Now we know just the mind, that was the mindset of back then. Today, I guarantee you, if Moe got $200,000, he's going to invest it, right? So they care about us and they love us the most. So the negative people around you can care about you and love you the most. They just don't know any better. They're just not informed. That's all it is. So it's not, and I say this to Brendan too. I'm like, look, I'm not mad at them. I just don't want them around me. I don't not like them. I just don't want them around me. Like, just don't bring those people around me, because the mindset is too limited for me to get to where I want to be. I want to have a TV show. Look where we are, right? Yeah. Some people say no. We got one more question on you, and then I think they want to learn from this guy.
Yes.
Y'all want to learn? All right, cool. So, obviously you're doing this, right? And you already sold a company, $12 million. You bought the business one up. You're helping people obviously do the same thing. But you're still young. So what's one other thing you definitely want to accomplish? Maybe something that's big, something crazy, because you're still young, you got so much time. What's something that you definitely want to do?
Like on a financial goal, like I'll be a billionaire within the next decade.
Right. Say it again, Mo. Say it again, no. One more time.
Yeah, I'll be a billionaire within the next decade. But the thing is like the only way that I do that is by helping other people become millionaires, decade millionaires, 100 millionaires. Like you just can't do it alone. It's just impossible. You can't do it alone. So like in our company, we have a target of helping create 2,500 millionaires in the next 3 years. That's like the target inside of our company.
That sounds like a good room for y'all to be in today, for sure.
That's our target. Like we have that inside of our organization. That's a financial target.
What does Mo want to do for Mo?
What do I want to do for myself?
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I want to do for myself. You know, like I come out, I speak to rooms like this of people who want it, people who are driven, people who have courage. Because it takes courage to even come into a room like this. Like you probably had people that you didn't even want to. Like you told people that like, oh, I'm gonna come to this. People say, oh, what are you doing? Come to that. Like, did anyone have any like naysayers? Raise your hand if you had naysayers you told them that you were coming here. Anyone?
Listen, I don't
Put them
live.
hands up high. It's okay. It's okay. You're in a safe space.
Look, it's cool. Like every single room that I went into that was just like this, I had naysayers telling me they're scammers. They don't really make money in their business. They just make money by teaching you how to make money. It's all bullshit. Is this? I went to every single one of them. And because they were all doing better than me, and I was like, they got something that I need. Because here's something I'm going to teach all of you guys this. You are all exactly where you are today, in the exact seat that you are in today, because of all of the decisions that you have made in your life up until today. Make sense? Yeah. And the only reason why you made all of the decisions that you've made is because of the information that you've been taught. So you've been given certain information, and that information leads you to make certain decisions, and decisions lead you to where you're at today. And I realized at a really early age is I got the wrong information. I'm broke because I have the wrong information. I'm broke because I have the wrong information. So I need to go get some new data. And in order to learn new data, you got to forget the old data. Like you got a cup and it's filled with dirt, and that's your brain. And it's like you can't. It's like first thing you got to do is you got to take out the dirt, and then it gets a little bit cleaner, and then you pour new data in.
Guys, we got to wrap up on that one. I've never heard that one. Can I get your permission to use that? Which one? The cup of dirt. All right, cool. All right, look, guys, that wraps up this episode of the